Hey everybody, Larry here at Boxcars Garage. Yes, I am alive. Let's get after it. Well, we might as well do a little chit chat first. If you happen to not remember where we left off from, I honestly have a hard time remembering where we left off from, but I know that I wasn't done with my chassis yet. You can see not a whole bunch has happened to it, to be 100% honest. I am planning on boxing in these rails, and I had to account for all the bolt holes and what they're for, and I welded in these shoulder nuts. These are 5/16. I'm using that as kind of my universal fastener for everything that's going to go up, you know, to the side of the frame rail, you know, so your running boards, your fenders, your inner fender panels, and so on. So I've got all those welded in on both sides. And then I had a little bit of repair to do. This C-notch was already in place, but there was a chunk of it that was ripped out for whatever reason. And anyway, I got that repaired. So I'm almost ready to box in all these rails. I've got to yet weld up these on the top side. The pickup trucks had these holes, and their fenders were a surface mounted lip on those fenders, and that might be the reason why those holes are there. I don't know. Of course, these are the rivets that hold on to the front cross member, and the next time that cross member goes in, it's going to be welded to the inside boxing plates. So I'm going to go ahead and fill those up and dress all that down, and then I believe I will have accounted for all the holes and all the adaptations that has to happen before I can at least close in the outside of the rails. So let's talk about the K-member for a moment, shall we? Okay, so as for the K-member, I had to do some work on this K-member. Overall, it's in pretty good condition. My biggest problem was back where the K-member meets the main frame rails. They like to trap debris and water and swell and rot and rust back there. So I had to open up both sides, and I had to clean that mess out best I could, and then I had to put some metal in there, weld it back up, and dress it down and whatnot. But I'm still hopeful that I can use this K-member. You know, there's some utility in the fact that the floor is set up to take this pattern, and I think I may end up boxing the inside of this K-member to a certain point, if I could decide how I want to replicate the details, like these circles. I don't know what I'm going to do about that on the other side, but anyway, so I'm pondering that. The biggest change to the K-member is going to be up here in the front. I'm pretty sure I've got to make some space for my transmission, and I also would like to get, you know, my exhaust alongside of the transmission on the way out. So all that's going to force a kind of a change around. You see these lines here. This was me kind of like thinking out loud what I'm going to have to pull that into to make that all work. So I'm going to end up getting off of the layout made for the floor, no big deal, whatever, as this draws in, and I'll have to end up making some fasteners in new locations and what have you. So I haven't done all that yet, because what I've got to do to support that is that I need to get my motor mocked up, and I've got my transmission right now just sitting on standby. This is a early AOD style, non-electronic, automatic. Yes, automatic. And then I've also was lucky enough to secure those short Snow White water pump kits for the front in order to save space, you know, between my radiator and the motor, and maybe lose less firewall than than I would have otherwise with a long snout, Ford water pump. And so anyway, all that is, I've got to get some things built up. I'm not quite there yet, but we're going to be getting there pretty soon. So right now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get these welded up, these spots. I think I've got about 4 or 5 on each side. And then I think we're going to be transitioning over to some boxing plate action. So let's see. Okay, we need to shut this video down. It's getting way too long. And, you know, this video started out, I was just going to like fill in some holes and talk about the holes that I'm filling in. And I was going to talk about the backing nuts that I selected and why I'm doing that and whatever. And I thought, no, that's not enough, you know, action. We got to put some more content. There's got to be more significant work being done on the car than just that for a video. So here we are, and we have done a lot on it, and there's still a chunk more, but I'm going to talk through that and show you what I got. So let me go ahead and turn you around. So I've got all my boxing plates. They've all been cut. This section in the front, it's been tacked in. It's not finished welded up, but it's tacked on both sides. The section in the middle, same thing. It's all been cut and tacked and trimmed and everything else. The driver's side took the most time because of that electrical channel that I decided to make. That was a lot of fun. Took me a lot of time. This is basically, you know, your front cowl section on the inside. I'm going to have some wires that's going to drop right through there, and they're going to shoot off to the back. And then, yeah, goes all the way back, and it stops about right there. And then I've got my plates cut on both sides for the back, but they need a little bit of trimming before I'm ready to tack those in. And I came up with an issue that I've got to resolve, and I'll talk about that real quick. Is so the way I did my boxing plates, this is kind of something that you've got to deal with after the fact if you haven't kind of cooked it into your plan, and I didn't. So that's undesirable, of course. So what I came up with, I've got a mock-up of some cardboard that's, I'm basically going to make this out of metal. And that's going to get welded in, and it'll like 45 up into the original K-member. But that's how we're going to clean that up and close that all off. So I've got to make one of those for both sides here in the back, and then I got to make something that is similar here in the front, and I haven't got those started yet. So that's that. But all in all, I'm really happy with you know, the look, and I think it's going to be super strong. I've been watching my frame during this process, and even though I've been tacking it, I've been watching, making sure that it's not trying to pull away from, you know, my jig table. And so far, fingers crossed, everything is behaving, and I haven't distorted my frame. But like I said, I've been paying attention to it, so hopefully we'll be good there. But as for the electrical channel, it comes to the back here. You can see that's where it comes out at. And then, so they'll end up, this will get welded here to this boxing plate after I get the boxing plate tacked. And then this will get finished down flat. And then there'll be a cap over here, and if wires come out, there'll be some sort of weather enclosure method that I'll take the wires out of on both sides. Actually, this side's already welded up, but it'll be closed off, and the wires will come out and feed some taillights. And then what I thought was, you know, if I've got to have wires, it's going to be coming up. If they need to get over to this side, there's going to be a cross member here that my coilovers are going to be mounted to. I can have some wires up along the bottom side or the top side of that channel, It'll drop down, come along the wall here, and then go out to the other side here. But yeah, that is how things are looking. I'm pretty happy with it. I've never bought like a set of repop boxing plates before myself. I know that there's tons of them available, and but I thought I wanted to make mine for whatever reason, and so here's where I'm at. But all in all, I'm happy. It's strong. This is the original frame for the car, so I have adapted and strengthened an original frame. So anyway, we're going to wrap this one up. I'll show you how those transitional areas look on the next video. I'm going to try to get a video out, so I need to shut this one down. But anyway, if you hung on this long, thanks for watching. Hope you get some maybe some ideas. The MVP for this exercise here was definitely the plasma cutter, and it's been the most use I've ever given one before, and I just love it. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Take it easy.